Hey everyone, and welcome back to another PGN Live. Yes, it is still February 23rd, 2026, Monday. And yeah, we did have a stream earlier, which was great, and we were popping off. The conversation was hot, but I had to end the stream when I did, and I said we would probably, hopefully, come back for more. So here we are now. Welcome back. Maybe this is the first stream of the day for you. Maybe you've been here twice already. Are we live? Hold on. Let me see. I think we're live. Yeah. That would be something if we weren't live. But we are. We're good. Hold on a second. Why is it showing up? 2 streams live? What's going on here? Hold on, folks. Are there 2 streams happening at the same time? Hold on, this is weird. Hey everyone, and welcome back to another PGN Live. Yes, it is still February 23rd, 2026, Monday. I'm having some troubleshooting here. I'm sorry, everybody. This is odd. It's showing that 2 streams are up and active at the same time. Hang on. By now, usually we've got the pop-out chat rolling. I don't see. Sorry, this is a really weird way to start a stream. I don't like this pause. This is not the way it's supposed to be. Pop out chat, okay. It said that we had 2 streams running at the same time. We did indeed have the stream this morning, or earlier today, this afternoon. Okay. Rarely, I would say, do we have that kind of a weird intro. So I apologize, but welcome anyways. Welcome on back. As I was saying earlier, geez, now I got all kind of thrown off. We had a really good stream, not this morning, but earlier this afternoon, I guess, and we were kind of popping off back and forth, a really engaging conversation, talking about Nintendo Switch 2's first several months on the market. Some people loving it, some people disappointed, some people not at all worried about the future, and some folks cautiously optimistic, or some even like, oh no, I don't have a good feeling about this, of this generation. And, I shared my thoughts in which they're positive. I think that the console generation is young. I think so far Nintendo has done an excellent job with their third-party partners. I have faith that they're going to have a fine generation ahead. But we were talking back and forth all over, and that was making it really fun and engaging. But now we're back. And then we started back with a little bit of a snafu, little glitch or something. But I guess we're okay now. Sorry, that was weird. Yvonne Francois, anyhow, welcome. Saying hi, Paul. Hi there. Tabby Cat Games. Who you streaming with for Treehouse tomorrow? Let me double check the time, actually. What is the time of tomorrow's stream? Let me take a look. 2 p.m. 2 p.m. Pacific time. Well, it certainly makes it possible to stream with anybody, I suppose, because it's not too early or too late. So we'll see. Shoot, we'll see if I even am able to stream at that time. It might be, might not. I don't know. I don't know yet, actually. I'll cover it in some fashion if I don't stream it live. That is something that I'll take care of later in the day and have a fun conversation with you all about it. But I don't know yet. No particular plans. Warscene is here saying hello. YouTube glitching out? Kind of, yet I don't know. It started a stream, and then on my live channel, I saw 2 lives going on simultaneously, and I click it in one, and well, we have our one from this morning, and just one going on now. I'm not restreaming anywhere. So I don't know. Ash Gaming is here saying, yes, we are back. That's right, we are back. Yeah, I just wanted to kind of wrap up the conversation on the Treehouse. See if you're all interested. Will you be watching live? I kind of wanted to run a poll too that I didn't run this morning. Maybe I'll do that now. Start a poll. Let's see. It's going to be a little bit of an interesting poll. Okay. Here's the poll. Probably a little bit different than you thought. Will you be getting Super Mario Bros. Wonder Nintendo Switch 2 Edition plus Meetup in Bellabelle Park or Pokemon Pokopia? Yes to Mario. Yes to Pokemon. Yes to both. No to neither. Should be very interesting. Because Mario, on the one hand, it's already been out for 2.5 years. So there may be fewer people that sign up for it. Or maybe it's a cheaper alternative to a new game because you already have the game and the DLC makes it worth it. Pokemon Pokopia is a brand new title, but it's also full priced. But it might not be everybody's type of game. So this will be an interesting poll. Some people might not get either of them because they already have Mario and the Pokemon Pokopia title doesn't pique their interest. Some might get both because they skipped out on Mario and now you're getting the best way to play that game along with this new DLC, and you are a massive Pokemon fan, so this is the perfect time, this February-March time frame, where you're eating good. I'm curious. So far, Pokemon is leading the poll by quite a bit. So it looks like quite a few people are interested in Pokemon Pokopia. Of course, the more people we get in here, the greater an impact and value will the poll hold, So we'll see how it goes. Tsukino Ame is excited for Pokopia gameplay. Awesome. Atlas NFT says Pokopia only. Yeah. If I could run another poll simultaneously, that one would be, do you already own Super Mario Bros. Wonder Nintendo Switch 2 Edition? And that one I would make a poll yes and will upgrade. Yes, but will not upgrade. No, but will be getting the NS2 edition. No, and I don't have any plans on buying it either. That would be a fun poll. Maybe I'll put that one up later in the chat or possibly tomorrow. We'll see. I'd feel better if Pokopia were physical. Well, it's going to be physical by means of game key card, which isn't quite the physical cartridge, and I understand that. It would be like a Street Fighter 6 situation and not a Cyberpunk 2077 situation. I think it was just seen as a waste of space and too much money to lose without, you know, that necessity behind it from the company, because here it's like this small, I don't know, 12, 17 gigabyte game, and we're going to spend all this money on a 64 gigabyte cartridge, not even utilizing it. So we're going to eat this cost unnecessarily. So, let's just release it as a game key card. That's probably why, versus if it was some beefy 48 gigabyte title, then perhaps they could justify why they are using a full cartridge, because it utilizes, a good percentage, 3/4 or so of the space. Yeah. Nothing's better than just having that pure cartridge available. I don't know if I'll pick up the game yet, either way, digital or game key card. I don't even know for sure if I would pick up if it was indeed a pure physical cartridge, just because I don't know if it's the type of game I need right now, or have time to fully play something else. Looks cool, looks fun enough, but probably not something that I would buy anyway. What I am excited for, though, is this Friday's Pokemon Presents. That's something that I'll watch for sure. And far more likely than not, I will be getting Gen 10 Pokemon. At least, one of the versions. In fact, just one. I don't buy 2 Pokemon games per gen. I have only ever purchased 1 per gen. Yeah. Good afternoon, David Patterson in here. Atlas saying, I think a lot of people are sleeping on how popular this game will be amongst Animal Crossing and Cozy players. Yeah, that's something that we were talking about earlier today, Atlas, is what is this game going to sell? Is it going to be like a 2 to 4 million seller, like a Pokken Tournament, or a new Pokemon Snap? Is this going to be 10 to 15 million range? We're talking Pokemon Legends Arceus, Pokemon Legends ZA, or are we talking a beefy 25 million plus seller like Pokemon Sword and Shield, Pokemon Scarlet and Violet? I don't think it's going to be that high. Then again, you never know what game is going to be your next Animal Crossing New Horizons that really outsells what you were internally thinking it was going to perform, So there is a chance that it really explodes. I think if it's a really good quality game with a lot available to do in it, it's fun, it's running well, people are having a good time, it doesn't get boring, there's plenty of things to do. It's rich. Doesn't feel cheap. Feels like it's worth the budget. It's immersive. This could be an easy 10 million plus seller, because you have the Pokemon name, but you also have to have a good, compelling game. It's easier to sell people on what they're familiar with Pokemon, which is that RPG aspect, or a little bit of a deviation into some adventure, non-core entry in the series, but still kind of what people want with the capturing mechanic and stuff like that. You use a popular IP, and all of a sudden you do something kind of different with it. Could work. Not a guarantee. But hopefully it's a good title. And maybe I will get it. I don't know. But, Atlas is correct. You could capitalize on that Animal Crossing crowd big time with this. Animal Crossing meets Minecraft with Pokemon. You might have a hit on your hand. For all I know, it will be a 15, 20 million seller. But time will tell. Tsukino Ame says, "Hi, Paul. How are you today?" I'm doing well. Thank you, Tsukino. How are you? Tabby, I did have a question sent you on X. Okay, I'll check that out. I think it will be the second highest selling game on Switch 2 this year. Ooh. Bold claim. Could it be? Well, you got Pokemon Gen 10, no doubt going to sell well. Pokemon Legends ZA continuing to do well. Mario Kart World, another one that's going to sell all year round. We don't know, but if we get a 3D Mario, that could be big. Depending on the quality of Yoshi and the Mysterious Book, that could be a big one. Dusk Bloods being like a rated M game does hold it back from a user base, but doesn't mean that it can't sell well. It's probably going to do quite fine. A mainline 3D Zelda, though, like Ocarina of Time remake or Twilight Princess remake or new Zelda, which I'm not expecting a brand new Zelda to come this year, but something like that, or a brand new 3D Mario, that would be a top seller for Nintendo Switch 2. But I think it's pretty safe to say that Pokemon Pokopia will be a big selling game. Let's see. I'll read this here. Cool. Let's see how the poll is doing. It's no longer 60% on Pokemon. Now we have every category filled up. 31% of the people, yes, still to Pokemon. 31% also on the no to neither side. 23% yes to Mario. 15% yes to both. So between the two games, though, it looks like 69% currently are planning on getting something. That's one of the things that I'm pretty happy with this generation so far, is that Nintendo Switch 2 has a lot of variety for it, You already have big, good quality Mario representation with Mario Kart World. You've already got big, notable third-party representation with Resident Evil Requiem coming out in a couple of days. FF7 Remake Integrate that just came out last month. Kicking things off with Street Fighter 6 and Split Fiction. And having Hades 2 in the summer. And Mortal Kombat Collection also in the summer. Ruffy and the Riverside. Plenty of upgrades. Fast Fusion, third-party titles. Hyrule Warriors, Metroid Prime, Pokemon Legends ZA. Like, dude, it's been great. It's just non-stop variety. If you're only a Mario fan, you already got to enjoy Super Mario Galaxy 1 and 2. Something that you probably didn't have access to in quite a while. And you got Mario Kart World. And you're about to get, an update to Super Mario Bros. Wonder, which is cool. And you just got Mario Tennis. So if you're just a Mario fan, there's a lot of Mario for you. If you're a Zelda fan, you already got Tears of the Kingdom, Breath of the Wild upgrade, and Hyrule Warriors, Age of Imprisonment. If you just like cute stuff, and you think Kirby's cute, you got Kirby and the Forgotten Land upgrade, new DLC. You got Kirby Air Riders, brand new game. and you got Animal Crossing with an update. So that's pretty nice for you. If you're into more T-rated and mature stuff, I mean, here's Metroid Prime 4 Beyond you got, Hades 2, Tony Hawk's Pro Skater, WWE, Street Fighter 6, Split Fiction, Resident Evil Requiem, FF7 Remake. If you're into 3D platforming, you already got Donkey Kong. If you're into sports games, you already have the ability to play Madden football on the console. So there isn't really a particular genre. Maybe there's not a Call of Duty, but there's Fortnite that had a sizable, visible upgrade on Nintendo Switch 2, So there's been something for a lot of people already in the first 8 months, in my opinion. Tsukino Ame says you can make friends with the Pokemon, add them to a Pokedex. There's fossils to collect, build with friends online. So much to do in Pokopia. See, that's valuable. See, Tsukino, I'm torn with everything I'm streaming too. Tabby Cat Games, are you considering buying this game because you think it would be a good streaming game or a good game that you're interested in, or both? Because, yeah, if this game shines in creativity and variety, this could be a good streaming game if that's kind of like your idea, attitude, desire for it, like Minecraft. If you're really good at Minecraft and you hopped on the Minecraft bandwagon early and you learned the insides and outsides of that game, like, could you imagine how big of a Minecraft creator you could be on YouTube and the following for that, So that could be Pokopia, maybe. Something similar, or Animal Crossing, the creativity in that game if you hopped on 2020, or are you just a really big Pokemon fan, Tabby, and this game just like looks like it would interest you, but you're not sure if it would be well received streaming wise, or do you have enough time for it with everything else you're streaming? Questions, so I get that. Atlas says, I haven't really been a fan of the way some of the Switch 2 Edition games are somewhat getting treated like they're new games, which makes me feel like their sequels are further away. I think that Nintendo is cooking on the sequels for a lot of their main IP, but since they are going to take some time to develop, they've got to do what they did with Nintendo Switch, and that is utilize their Wii U titles as in-between releases. Utilize the Nintendo Switch titles as additions that get upgrades before the next big game come out. Let's take Xenoblade Chronicles X and pump it up. Not that we're not making a new Xenoblade game, but it's taking longer. Let's utilize third parties, have a good relationship with indies, still release new games, have third party collabs like Tecmo Koei for, Hyrule Warriors Age of Imprisonment, have ports, do it all. At least, probably they're trying. David Patterson, you're a huge fan of Capcom. Yeah, Capcom's coming in strong. Street Fighter 6 at launch. You got Pragmata coming up. Resident Evil 7, 8, 9 this week. Monster Hunter Stories 3 is looking good. Banana Cat, you've got a question? Go for it. I'm not sure if I'd be a good streamer, but just lots of fun. Well, you're already streaming and have a good time streaming, right? I've caught some of your streams. They're fun. From Hyrule Warriors Age of Imprisonment to Expedition 33. I think you're doing a good job, especially if you're earlier on in the streaming. You'll only get better. I mean, if you're having fun playing and you like playing at the computer desk, favoring it more than sitting on a couch or something like that, so comfort-wise, like, you're all good either way, and you're going to be playing anyways, that could be for you. Play, have fun, stream at the same time. You probably have noticed by now, though, Tabby, it is tough to play and talk and read, engage all at the same time, right? You've got a chat going here, a picture of yourself moving over there, the game over there. Uh, and are you playing the game more or talking more? Like, it becomes tough. But, you know, keep at it if you're having fun gaming. And if folks are showing up, whether it's people like me who have it on in the background and trying to support, and I'm doing chores but I'm still like listening to the stream here or there, listening to the play session here and there, or folks that are like actively playing, yeah, enjoy it. As far as Pokopia goes, I think the community content on Twitter is what's going to really sell the game. Yeah. You guys, if you haven't tried this demo of Poké Tournament DX, this Pokemon game is sweet. Poké Tournament is really good. Jack Black says, AC Shadows is so sick to have on Nintendo Switch 2 as well. Good point, Jack Black. That game came out at a good time, I think, because there was a lot of talk about Ghost of Yote last holiday season. And though Nintendo Switch 2 doesn't have that, it's a PlayStation exclusive, here's a different vibe of, okay, samurai, rated M, sword swinging, heavy story narrative game set in Japan. I could get behind this, and especially with that update, Assassin's Creed Shadows, might be good for a lot of folks. So even Nintendo Switch 2, if it's not getting, something that another system is getting because that's their exclusive, it's getting something comparable. I'm glad you like the game. Dinner got here, away from keyboard but listening. I got you. I know how that is. Usually I'm doing chores away from my iPhone, but listening, Graceful Requiem. Hello, Paul. I will be getting Pokemon Pokopia, but I'm not sure on Mario Wonder Switch 2 yet. It's $40 on Switch 1 and $80 on Switch 2. The value proposition, added value is unclear to me still. In that case, I would say get the $40 Nintendo Switch version and pay to upgrade on Nintendo Switch 2, which would probably be less than getting the Nintendo Switch 2 version and, the Bella Bella Park, right? That's the beauty of some of these Nintendo Switch version upgrades, is that if you don't want to spend full price on a Nintendo Switch 2 cartridge or release, you could find a used copy of Breath of the Wild or Tears of the Kingdom on Nintendo Switch and then just pay a whopping $10 for the upgrade. Or if you have NSO plus expansion pack, get them for free. Well, free. Part of the cost that you're paying for the expansion pack, So that's kind of cool. Yeah. Michael S. Gutman is saying, get the Switch 1 version and get the upgrade if you want. Yeah, I personally wouldn't upgrade and just get the Switch 1 version. I mean, if you have a 4K TV, might as well spend a couple of bucks probably to get the game to look even better, even more crisp. If you got some friends to play with, enjoy Bella Bella Park as something new and just have like the definitive version of the game. Or just buy what you want of the upgrade and maybe not everything, Dynamite 1776 says, hey. Earthling 247 saying, is your name a famous one? Is my name a famous one? I mean, I have 8,635 subscribers on YouTube. It's not a lot, but it's enough to fill a small stadium. I've got, 4,500 subscribers on X, I think. Is that how much I have? Yeah, 4,600 on X. Is that a lot? No, but it's, decent auditorium filled. I've been around the video game industry a long time, so like outside of YouTube subscriptions and X subscriptions, I've been in the video game industry for 25 years, more than that. I've been to 20 E3s. I've been featured in different video game magazines, interviewed in EGM, did a Nintendo Switch commercial with John Cena, have a published book out there, uh, am known as the live action Goku. Well, I don't know if I'm known as that, but I had a pretty good 95,000 or so viewed Dragon Ball Z live action Super Saiyan video that I did. I am a character, canonically speaking, in Street Fighter 4. Capcom made me a character into that game. I'm in a Street Fighter comic book. So, does that equate to famousness? Probably not by most people's standards. I'm not a celebrity, But, you know, I've been around the video game industry a while, and I enjoy talking online, making videos and shorts and stuff like that. Hopefully that answered your question. Just being honest. Banana Cat. So I do YouTube as well. I focus on Nintendo/Mario stuff, but I'm not doing too well. Any advice? If you're having fun making the Nintendo and Mario content, like news covering Nintendo, news covering Mario, the games, the movies, lore, playthrough sessions, unboxing videos, talking about the movie, reviewing products, and you're enjoying it, and you're just keep on pumping it out there, then it's worth doing. If you're not doing that well, though, and the charm is lost behind the art, like you're not doing well and you're not having fun doing it, then maybe I'd recommend just enjoy it as the hobby and don't do the videos anymore, because you never want the videos to get in the way, like, oh man, I gotta record another Mario thing. You don't want it to start making you dislike Mario. You know what I'm saying? You don't want to associate not doing well with Nintendo and Mario into not liking Nintendo and Mario anymore. But if you're still liking playing and talking, and that's the most important thing, and that just because you're not doing the best doesn't distract or take away from the enjoyment, just do it. Keep trying. Try a different platform. Go with YouTube. Whenever you make a YouTube video, put it on TikTok also. Put it on X also. Put it on Blue Sky also. Some platforms you might not hit at all. Some platforms you might do okay. Try a live stream. Try a short. Try long form videos, short form videos in horizontal nature. Keep it varied. At the end of the day, if you're still having fun, then it's okay if it's not successful. But I wish you well and hope that that might be something to help make you successful. You know what I mean? Hope that helps a bit. Oh, let's see. Switch 2 edition gives you a graphical boost, online minigames, yeah. For some, that will be worth it. For some, not, I think it would be really cool if the game got new worlds, like 1 or 2 new worlds, another 16 to 24 different courses, single player or multiplayer. Like, that would be pretty sweet. That's not quite the case. Yeah. Earthling 247, nice. Thank you. Thanks. Paul Gale is a celebrity to us in here. Thank you, Tsukito Ame. Wonder just felt a little weird to me, especially with the new elephant power-up and Wonder Flower. Funnily enough, I prefer new Super Mario Bros. Games more. Actually, so far, new Super Mario Brothers U... Yeah, the new Super Mario Bros. U on Nintendo Switch is the better selling game between it and New Super Mario Bros. Wonder. Then again, the former has been out for quite a bit longer than the latter, and I do expect that Wonder will catch up. But yeah, a lot of people like new. I like the new games, but I did feel like it was a time to move on from the art style and that vibe. The first one was such a hit on the 2D on the DS. Sorry, on the DS. I remember I got that on my DS Lite, and I played the heck out of that game. It was like such a nice throwback to 2D Mario again, which we didn't have in a while, you know. And then when the sequel came out, New Super Mario Bros. Wii on Wii, I loved it. That one was so good. It was like peak 2D Mario platforming, so much fun. I played with my friends that one, 4-player co-op like the whole way through. Excellent game. New Super Mario Bros. 2 on DS. Was that 3DS at that point? With the Gold Rush challenge and stuff, pretty good, pretty fun, but starting to get to like a okay, good. It's not as fresh anymore, this formula, but cool. It's a good game. Good game. I like the gold concept. That's fun. And then kicking off a launch game for New Super Mario Bros. U. Like, all right, this is a good game. Does look more crisp and stuff. I like the power ups, but I kind of wish this one was a little bit of a different. But it's still really solid. But the series vibe was starting to overstay its welcome a little bit. So I think it was necessary that they went totally different and started up new animations, new everything with Wonder. Is that for everyone though? Maybe not. But yeah, I like you overall. Still a good game. And I like Wonder a lot too. Still a very good game. It'll be interesting to see what they do next with 2D Mario. Are they going to draw inspirations more from Wonder or go a different route? Hi, Apuli Dynamite saying, just got Metroid Prime 4. Whole reason why I got the original Switch was this game. But then I gave that system away 6 years ago. I'm excited but reserved. Okay, well that's kind of funny. You got the system for Metroid Prime 4. Said bye-bye to Nintendo Switch 6 years ago, and now you're coming back. I loved Metroid Prime 4 Beyond. For what it's worth, one of my favorite games of the year, 9.5, one of my top contenders. I loved it. I didn't have a problem with NPCs, with talking. I didn't have any issue with reach reversal. It's what Metroid Prime is known for. I thought the voice acting was good, story solid enough, the weapons, the upgrades, the visuals, the fidelity, the beauty in the art style, the progression of Samus becoming powerful and badass towards the end. I loved it. The desert, fine, barren, but it's also a desert, but enough things to do and have fun. The green shards, I just collected along the way, so I wasn't like slogging through this whole game looking for them. I did have to find a few hidden in some grottos towards the end, but it was not a difficult process in doing this. Bosses, beautiful. Controls, varied and great. Loading, minuscule. New areas that came open or new areas that were made accessible in old areas when you got a power up or came back, still there. Great music, great vibes. Like, even though I have the amiibo, I didn't do music in the desert. I liked the quiet ambient sound of the desert. That's more fitting to me than music pumping through the desert. 9.5. Loved it. Some people, good game. Good. I give it like a good 7.5. Give it good. Good. Anyone who says the game sucks or is trash, they didn't even play it, or their mind is so not processing what that game is, or too convoluted in what they thought they were getting, or just really didn't click. Like, I wouldn't put any stock in someone who's like, oh, that game's like a 3 or a 1. No, they either didn't play it, or it's truly someone who only likes dogs and nothing but dogs in life, buying a lizard. Well, what do you expect? That's not the market for you. You know what I mean? But if you're someone that likes adventure games, Metroid games, first person games, shooters, light puzzle elements, alien vibes, former Metroid Prime titles, former Metroid titles, you're gonna like the game because it's really good. It's just what level of good is it? It's not bad at all. And when I saw this junk online of it's bad, like it's not bad. That person is lying, didn't play it, or very incorrect with their thoughts. Now, if someone doesn't like it as much as me, someone thinks it's a 7, like good. Like if 5 is mediocre, 10 is excellent, 7 is good, 1 is absolutely garbage, and 3 is like quite poor. If someone thought it was a 7 or something like that, I'd be like, all right, you thought it was good. That's fair. You played through the whole thing. You just didn't like it as much as me. But how could you deny the graphics, the sound, the gameplay, the fun, the reach reversal, the art, the music, the scope? All those things are so high metrics. Maybe they just didn't hit well to you because you wanted it to be longer, or you didn't like the boss fights as much, or the controls didn't hit to you as well, or maybe the NPCs were a little bit annoying and like, oh, maybe it goes down, boom, 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 876, something like that. Like, understandable. But I think you're going to have a good time. His advice is solid. Thank you, Tabby. I hope Square Enix remakes Parasite Eve. That'd be cool on Nintendo Switch 2. RE2, 3, and 4. Yeah, I think that'll happen. Wonder was hysterical. Love the humor. Yeah, anytime that like Mario came out of the pipe, whoop, and grabbed his hat, like I like those little fun bells and whistles. Atlas says, I think Metroid needs to go in a new direction if it's going to sell, and may need to lean into the multiplayer and fast pace like Hunters or in order to grow. Multiplayer might be beneficial to the game. It could be. Ditching first person, going third, having the opportunity to switch in between like RE9, maybe that's a decision. There are some ways that Metroid can be more mass appealing. I think we'll get a new 3D Metroid game by 2031 or something, by 2030. Yeah, something like that. Graceful Requiem says, I love Metroid, but I'm not used to the 3D open world like in the Prime series. I miss the space horror aspects to it. Speaking of which, I think we'll get a 2D Metroid before the next 3D one. Like, I would like to see, personally, Metroid Samus Returns, that 3DS remake coming to Nintendo Switch 2 and Nintendo Switch. I'd also like to see a brand new 2D Metroid in 2027. I think that would be good back-to-back. Then throw 2028 for Metroid Prime 2, 2029 Metroid Prime 3, Metroid Prime 5, boom, 2030. I play the game. I'm pretty good at reviewing games. I finished the game. It's a 6 out of 10 for you. I play almost every kind of game. Michael S. Gutmann, see, that's a valid opinion because you play a variety of games and you actually beat this game. So you're not someone who is just... And actually, a 6 isn't like a bad score either. That's above average, but not quite good. If you're going on my scale, and stuff like that. It's just... your opinion, and that's okay. It's different having an opinion because you actually beat it than someone out there who doesn't really have any thought-provoking thoughts on it. It's just like, it's a 1. It's trash. Oh, man, that doesn't... that person... that holds no value, 6 is decent for you. Okay. 7 is good, 8 is great, 9 is amazing, 10 is masterpiece. Yeah, that's good. And like 5 would be mediocre, 4, poor, 3, bad, 2, awful, 1, garbage. So 6 is decent. Yeah, 6 is decent. That's good. That's solid. Metro Prime 4 is decent to you. Yeah. See, for me it was excellent, but different opinions. But somebody will look at somebody could look at Donkey Kong Bonanza, give it a 10 like me, or someone else could be, oh no, it was like an 8. It was great, but not like amazing. I thought it was amazing. And then if someone says a 3, I would really question the how. How did you think it was a 3? Garbage reviewer with not actual any playtime experience with it, or someone who probably has no right in reviewing the game because maybe they're so far on this side. Like if you only play rated M hardcore shooters and that's it. That's it. That's all you play. I'm talking nothing else. Not a Street Fighter, not a Mortal Kombat, nothing, not a Splatoon, nope. No Madden, no nothing, just a rated M shooters. And then review Donkey Kong Bonanza. Maybe that's why you gave it a 3, because you have no idea what else is out there. But that doesn't sound like a reviewer worth listening to, right? So usually when someone is such an outlier, there's a reason. They're either making it up because they didn't play it, or they just don't have a good basis on things. Otherwise, you get folks that have a range, you know? A Metroid game with the tension of alien isolation would be cool. If someone doesn't like Metroid Prime 4, they don't like the series. Oh, Metroid and Metroid Prime are different series. A lot of the hate on MP4 is BS, though. That's true. 1 is unplayable, yeah. Bonanza was a 10 to you, also, Michael S. Guzman. Yeah, heck yeah. Masterpiece. Don't know what I would change in it, and that's why it's a masterpiece. That's perfect. How many people do you think will tune in to tomorrow's Treehouse Live? Quite some. I don't know a number, but quite some. I'm playing Final Fantasy VII Remake on the Switch 2. This is the first time I'm ever playing a Final Fantasy game. It's excellent so far. Yes, it is, Dynamite. I'm glad you're enjoying it too. Well, the only other thing that we didn't talk about today, by the way, like this is another good stream. We're about to end, but I wanted to end on the Duskbloods. So I'm going to have one more poll before we go. By the way, on this poll, it looks like 70% of you are getting either Pokemon or Mario. That's good. I do want one more poll, though, before we go. Okay. Simple poll. You all saw the Duskbloods leak. March 26th. That's what it says. Not your typical placeholder of December 31st, but March 26th. You saw some ads going up. Got some new pictures. But would Duskbloods really come out before Elden Ring? Or could From Software do what Capcom is doing with Resident Evil and release Elden Ring and Duskbloods on the same day, the way Capcom is doing Resident Evil 7, 8, 9? Was it a mistake? A placeholder? A leak? An accidental slip? What's up? Why? Why did the Duskbloods show up as March 26th on this New Zealand eShop? Why did Australia, Nintendo, start promoting the game like the next day on Reddit and stuff? I think the reviews were biased. The beginning first maybe 30 minutes of Prime 4 was a 9 or 10. Yeah, that opening segment was pretty sweet. People consider a 7 a bad game now, thanks to Metacritic giving 7 a yellow color. Yeah, part of that's true. It's just that visual, which often is associated with something questionable or mediocre. True. Atlas DKB I thought was fun. I just think the enemies could have been more unique and stand out. Reason why I got to switch to was because of Duskbloods and Kirby Air Riders. 2 very different games, opposite ends of the spectrum, but very cool. Before I answer this poll, what are the signs that is coming out in March? Not too much yet, other than this New Zealand eShop showing up. The Duskbloods release date March 26th, 2026, and then like that same day or the next day, Australia Nintendo account promoting the Duskbloods on random Reddit forums. Interesting. I don't think it's coming out this early, or at least I should say, I didn't originally think they were coming out this early, that the game was coming out this early. I pegged it as a later 2026 title because I'm thinking, yeah, we got to see this game in some kind of direct between February and April. June, maybe have a little demo ramping up, and then the game releases September, October. October would be good fitting Halloween title. But now, March? Showing it off where? At this just random February X drop, and then it comes out in a month? Is that enough lead up? Is that enough hype? A promotion? Enough ad coverage for it? I don't know. Sounds premature. It sounds too early. But that's what happens when you have, official Nintendo accounts having stuff like that happen. So it's kind of weird. I'm on the fence of no, but I wouldn't mind it coming out in March. That'd be huge. A lot of people that complaining about where's the Nintendo Switch 2 software would probably stop complaining if that one just came out of nowhere in March. But that's also a month after Resident Evil 9. But then again, a month is enough time for both games to be selling, and they will be both different titles. I don't know. I don't really think it's coming out in March, but I had to ask. I had to see what y'all think. Both of them, hopefully. Hello, Peach. Hello, Steak. Hello again. Okay, I answered yes because I am a hopeful fool. I hope you're right. And the poll is kind of splitish. It's 47-53. But okay. Now I feel better that even though we cut the earlier stream short, not that short really, if you think about it, but since we didn't have like our full regular Nintendo 64-minute stream, we had a second stream, 51 minutes. That means in total we had like 100 minutes or something like that because they're both like 50 plus. So that's pretty good. All right, that's going to do it now for this episode of PGN Live. Thank you all for being here. Appreciate it, and I hope you all have a good rest of your day. I'll see you next time. Take care. Bye.